Hey everybody! Oh my goodness, my levels is off today. I hope that's not too loud. Welcome everyone, Sexy Soul Talk Live #1. So I'm super excited right now. We have a lot of things going on. Energetically speaking, very crazy. So there was like a lunar eclipse yesterday. This might still be too loud. Alright. So yeah. Lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse doesn't happen, I think the eclipse seasons are every 6 months, but there was something special about this. It doesn't always happen with a blood moon, a blood full moon, so that was interesting. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. To me, what I take from a lunar eclipse anyway, it's a time for major balance. Just because you have two complete opposite energies merging, like they connect and everything is, you see it as one. So I think that's really important right now. I don't know if a lot of people are really going in that direction, but that's really a big, maybe it's what's affecting me. I feel like more balanced than I was feeling before. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And I feel like that's many people will also feel the same way. Not everyone, but a lot of times, just people, there's a lot of synchronicity. So when one person's going through it, there's a whole bunch of us going through it. So don't ever feel like you're going about it alone ever. So that's awesome. But today's topic, of course, is all about authenticity. And I think that there's a big deal that that's being connected with the whole lunar eclipse thing that just happened, and then the energies still kind of linger on, like before, after, whatever. So happy lunar eclipse. I am definitely really going to go deep on this. It'll be more of my own experience, because being authentic is kind of a struggle for a lot of people. There's just so many things that happen when a person starts being less and less and less authentic, you know. And that's just making you go farther and farther away from your true self, because we're all awesome and great people. We may choose to act different, but that's all good. So what I'd like to talk about is masks, and how we like to put on masks and we don't like to be our true selves, right? But that's not sexy. Okay, so being truly authentic is you being yourself no matter what. Like, just not giving a who about what anyone else thinks about you, because at the end of the day, that what they think of you is not really who you are, right? Those are thoughts. It's not tangible, like, to come, if it's not how you feel about yourself. And then if you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, you might start believing that that's you, but don't get caught up in the hype. It's not. I believe that we are our most authentic selves when we're children. We come in here live, so like full of life and happy, and everything is so grandiose. Like, you know, you appreciate everything. You're like, oh, I get excited about everything, because that's truly how amazing being here is. You know, we get caught up in daily life activities as we get older that don't allow us to feel that way anymore about certain things, and the longer you're around it, you appreciate it less if you're not stopping to smell, you know, the roses while drinking your coffee, you know, whatever. But there's a big thing that happens while we grow up. Some people are much better at this. I was not, so I felt super uncomfortable for a long time. Just like super uncomfortable, like not, you know, I felt I was a certain way growing up. Like, I didn't understand why people would be certain ways, like, and think certain things and act certain ways for no reason, like racism, for example. And, you know, whatever, that's a big one. But I never understood that. As a child, I was always kind of like, I don't understand. What's the big deal? Why? Okay, whatever. Like, all right, whatever. I can't argue with grown folk when you're a tiny person, right? But yeah, so I believe that we start going away from our true authentic selves, you know, and we are kind of afraid to do that sometimes because of how other people are going to judge us, you know. A lot of the times, the thing that makes, like, a lot of times, like, I'm a people pleaser, right? Of course, you want to make people happy. I love that. Why not? But sometimes when you're like a people pleaser too much, you tend to not stay in your natural vibe of things, because you might be doing things out of your own character just to make someone else happy. You know what I mean? I did it for years. Like, it's crazy, like, what we do to make other people happy. Sometimes it's really good. I'm not saying don't ever do that, no. I'm saying over excessive of, you know, pleasing people for the wrong reasons, or having what you're doing is not coinciding with your authenticity, and so you'll do it and you might feel bad the next day, or, you know, whatever, regrets. You know, you shouldn't really you should learn, like, that's the whole thing, because it'll just keep happening until you get it. So that's the good part. I mean, it might suck at the moment but you're always learning. So whatever happens, no matter good or bad, you should have to take it that way. Back to the authenticity, because authenticity is sexy. So this is why I want to speak about it. You know, I think it's super important for everyone to be their authentic selves, because you will truly never be happy with life until you become your authentic self. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you know, you could you'll have moments of whatever, but it's not like a really peaceful inner zen thing where you're like, yeah, like, that's it. Like, there's no in between. Like, I'm here and then you're there, and then there's this in between crap that you're doing because you want to make this person happy, which doesn't make any sense, you know? Because in the end, you're usually not happy when you do that. You become resentful. Absolutely. If it goes on for a long period of time, especially with certain individuals like you'll have in your life, like, you know, depending if you do that, if you don't do that. I feel like humans tend to do that. I think it's just kind of part of our nature, and I think some people are more into wanting to please people more. So it is a thing. I think it affects everybody. But authenticity is super sexy, because when somebody is truly being themselves, you kind of can feel it. Like, it's genuine. It's a different feeling from people being super confident, because confidence is sexy, but I feel like, you know, it all comes back to that person being their authentic selves. You know what I mean? They're just here, don't give a fuck. Right. Don't give a fuck. This is me. Take me naked. You got to be naked. That's another thing. You know, when you're authentic and you're your true authentic self, you are truly naked. You're like, this is me. Yeah. Hey, hi, how you doing? And that's okay. Because, like, you know, whatever. Not everyone is going to react the way you might want because you're expecting something or whatever. But you being your authentic self, being who you truly really are, is always the best way to be, you know, because you're the only one here. There is nobody else like you. And so it would be a shame for you to want to be like someone else, right? Because then what happened to who you are? No one can take your place, right? So it's kind of a shame. The world deserves to have who you truly are, because you're here to make a difference, whatever that may be. We're all here to make a difference in each other's lives and in the world and everything else, however that comes about. You know what I mean? No position here on earth, no matter what you're doing to make money, or, you know, doing as your hobbies or whatever you're doing, there's not one that's better than the other. There's no to me, that's a lot of balagna. Just because you get paid more for one thing doesn't make it less, you know, important than somebody, you know, cleaning the floors at McDonald's. Because it's like, hey, you like to eat McDonald's, maybe? I don't really go there anymore, but or wherever you like to eat. If somebody wasn't there cleaning the floors, then you'd probably not want to eat there anymore, right? That's kind of important. You don't want to eat in a dirty place. I don't know, even the people that clean the bathrooms. Like, it's important, because if they don't clean the bathroom, you're not going to want to go back to the bathroom. It's just the little things in life that people stop appreciating is a shame. So you should just be yourself. You know, there's a lot of times guys used to run around, they probably still do this, I don't come across this often anymore, but like, people who run around lying about what they do for a living. But like, what's the point of that? I don't get it. Like, all right, so it's gonna make you feel better for 2 seconds that somebody's gonna talk to you because you're not you. I mean, how does that make anybody feel better? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of females and males that will speak to you, whoever, for you being you. Like, that's key. Like, never have to be someone else to get love. If you know what I mean. There's no reason for it. There's just no reason for it. I don't know. I'm sorry. That was kind of sidetracked, because it came up in a conversation the other day, I think, and I was like, well, like, seriously. But anyway. Sometimes forget the people lying about their job, because that's just absolutely ridiculous, but this is way more often. People will do the 3-month thing, like, you know, right? Like, you start dating someone and you're on your tip-top behavior, like, you're not yourself, right? Why do people do that? Most people do that. I feel like there's a certain way that you're kind of like, yeah, I want to impress them, or I want them to like me, and I want this and I want that, or whatever. Like, I don't want to fuck this up. Here you go. Right? So you're on your best fucking behavior, and that's all good. But not being honest about how you truly are, if you don't show it in the first 3 months, is kind of like a waste of time, I feel like. Like, you should just be you. Like, you know, sometimes people are upset, sometimes people are happy, sometimes there are things that bother each and every one of us. We're all different that way, you know, for a different reason. I'll do that, a different show on that one. But yeah, I just feel like there's no need to not be yourself and always show your true self. See, it's just hard for us to do that, because people are always telling us how to be and what to do and what you should wear and how you should talk and all that jazz. Like, it's not okay. Like, it's just not okay. They say it's not okay to be cursing all the time, but I say fuck all that shit. You know, it's all in the way you're expressing what you're saying. And so if you're gonna curse and it's all in good fun, then who gives a shit, right? I don't know. It's not a big deal. If you're gonna curse someone out because you're really angry, that might not be a good time. And we all do it, but it is the way it is. I'd rather not curse at people when I get upset anymore. I don't think it's that fun. It's not fun. It's not a thing that makes you feel good. You know. Anyway, you could get your point across being super calm and not doing all that nonsense. So cursing is for fun. Anyway, I'd like to talk about the mask thing again, because this is something that I was struggling with. I guess I call it the mask. Like, it's not, I don't know, whatever, metaphor. We just don't, like, ever want people to see certain things of ourselves. There's, like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know, maybe you're afraid of something that's super ridiculous and you don't want anyone to know, you know, or you get anxious, you know, for some whatever reason, and you don't want people to know, you know. You may sweat a lot. I sweat a lot. You may not want people to know that, but it's like, shit, you're gonna keep sweating. So just get over it. I don't know. Who gives a shit? It is what it is. So the authenticity is super sexy. It is attractive. It is magnetic to other people when you are really being yourself. So it is, I just want to, I don't know. I know this is really difficult because I struggled with it for so long, but it just, you got to come to a point where you're like, I am okay, right? All the crap that you're thinking, or that you hear other people say, or that you may think they think of you, like, sometimes it's just all in your head, right? But I do believe that if you would just be yourself and be authentic, everything is going to be attracted to you. Like, people, you know, if you're looking for a job, friends, whatever, like, the whole thing. You're trying to network, it's just, people are looking, you know, everyone's used to hearing a sales pitch, or a stupid line, or a want, because it's cool, or it's whatever. And, you know, you're cool, because you're you. So whatever you want to say and how you feel is fucking fantastic. You know, there's no reason to try to be cool. Like, you know, you are cool. And that's it. And that's it. Believing that you're completely whole, which is another big thing. So I'll get into that. We don't feel like we are okay alone. A lot of people, like, you know, I need to be with a boyfriend, I need to have I need to be married or whatever. I don't know, like, seriously. So there's no reason why a person that feels like they need to be with someone to feel complete in life is super unhealthy. And most of the time they're struggling with their authenticity too, because they're not feeling whole as a one person. You know what I'm saying? You, one person, you're whole. You're good. You're good by yourself as long as you take care of yourself and are truly honest with yourself and authentic with yourself. See, we tend to sometimes get caught up in bullshit and don't want to really see from a higher perspective what's truly going on. So that's a big deal. Feeling whole. I mean, there's a mantra, like, you could always, there's a bunch, I mean, I'll do mantras are great. Show on that. But yeah, you could just say I am whole, and that's it. Like, you're whole, you're good. You don't need anything else to feel like you're okay. So that's the beauty of that, and it's super simple. It's just that everything in life that's really important is super simple. It's just not as easy as it may sound. Like, you know, it's just super simple because we make things more complicated than they need to be. That's all it is. It's super simple. Everything important in life is super simple. No complications. Complicated things they're not necessary. Absolutely not. So that's that. So when I started feeling more whole, that's when I felt like I was starting to be my authentic self. And that happened a couple years ago. So that was great. Because I was just, you know, there's always something that we're not happy about ourselves. And it kind of will eat at you after a while, you know, where you're just like, damn it. Because you're constantly thinking that's that way, right? But once you're just like, oh, it's okay, I'm okay. Like, I'm good. Like, fuck all the crap that, you know, there's crap we don't like about ourselves. But once you kind of just say, like, okay, whatever, that's not important, you know, because you're you and you're fucking fantastic. And that's it. And then you are allowing yourself to be you. And, you know, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're just kind of like shining on a different, like, plateau of things. That's what happens, because that's how you're meant to be, and you're gonna feel so great. And then you'll start doing different things. Like, things will just naturally start happening in your life where you're like, oh, like, everything's just going with the flow because you're just being you, and there's no buffer. You're not putting up energy speaking. This is how I feel. I feel like when we do that, we're putting like these little energy blocks, and so it blocks things coming out of you as well as coming towards you. Okay, because you become magnetic when you are truly authentic. Like, whatever the way you're exuding yourself, because that's another thing, your vibe coming out, because of the vibration you're emitting, you're going to get the same type of vibes back. And so it's just a beautiful world. You know what I mean? It's really important to know. Really important to know. So we're going to get into specifically now the difference between confidence, like being extra confident, and then being your authentic self. Because I don't know, I think some people don't understand. Like, everyone knows that confidence is sexy. I think that's kind of like a thing that is, you know, we already know that, right? And so people play off of that because they know that. So then they do the extra cocky palagna. And that's not sexy. Ever. Just putting it out there. Like, please don't. You know, if you're feeling yourself, fucking great. But you might have to tone it down a minute. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm sorry. Just tone it down a little bit. Everybody, like, if you're confident, everyone's gonna know that. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to, like, I don't know, go out of your way to be extra. You know what I mean? It just is. You just are. And that's it. It's not a big deal. It's not flamboyant, like super out there in your face. No. It actually is super subtle, which is even more sexy. The subtlety of confidence in authenticity is crazy. Like, there is a crazy energy there, and it's hard to explain. I guess you can check it out. I mean, you've been around people that are being like that, you know what I mean? And you are drawn towards them. You know, maybe people that you watch on TV that are being authentic, like, I don't know, motivational speakers and things of that nature. I'm not talking about celebrities there, because that's a whole nother ball game. I'm not saying all celebrities, but I mean, seriously, I don't know. But yeah, so the whole point of this is I want everyone to really just love themselves. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. You can love others, right? You think you love others, but you can't really love anything else until you love yourself. And when you do love yourself, you become super authentic as well. It's a whole, like, it's like a little cycle. You know what I'm saying? Getting rid of all of the crap that other people say, that you say about yourself. It's kind of like the same genre, right? And then feeling like you're whole and you're good, right? And then just not giving a flying fuck and being yourself, because you love yourself. That's it. Another thing about this, I would kind of sidetrack, but all the energy from what's happened with this eclipse has been helping people gear more towards loving themselves and taking care of themselves and just being very mindful of that. And I think that's a good thing, because if everyone is loving themselves and everyone is going to feel great and everyone's going to treat each other better, we're going to be closer to authenticity for you being you. Awesome sauce, you know what I'm saying? And that's the way it should be. You know what I mean? That's just the way it should be. So I think that actually I'm going to bring this to a whole nother topic, because sometimes when females aren't being authentic, I'll just go there. Like, you're not, like, it is confidence, because if you're not okay with you, you start acting a fool with everyone else, like, especially towards other females. Like, we should never do that. Like, all of us are beautiful, and so there's no reason for anyone to feel crazy or act a certain way towards other people because you're not feeling okay. Like, that's definitely, it's not a thing. It's a thing I see a lot. It's fucking weird. Kind of would love for that to dissipate. We could all love each other, help each other, water each other, you know what I'm saying, so we can grow. And that's it. That's what we're here for, to help each other grow. That's it. Not to be pounding on, like, wah, wah, wah. No, none of that shit. That's not being authentic, you know what I mean? I'm sure that everyone, when they used to grow up, they had all these aspirations and, like, everything was so wonderful, right? And you wanted to do this and you wanted to do that, because it's absolutely fucking possible. I don't know. When you lose that, that's you being you. Like, you're like, fuck yeah, everything is possible. I'm here alive. Ready to go. That's it. We lose that a little bit. And that's why, as adults, a lot of adults are not being authentic. They are putting on personas because they feel like, I'm supposed to have this job, and I'm supposed to drive this car, and I'm supposed to get with this kind of girl because that's what everybody tells me to do, you know? And then I'm supposed to, like, do this. I'm supposed to be able to be, like, super manly. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a big deal. You have to be you. So, you know, being in balance is great. Like, somebody that's too manly is not in balance, not being super authentic either, because they're not wanting to show a sensitive side, which is more of the feminine energy. So that's not sexy either. There's a lot of guys out there that are doing that. Stop doing that. Like, you don't need to be extra hard and extra buff and extra fucking extra. It's extra. Like, you're so good without all that extra shit. It's not necessary. And it'll make you feel lighter, and it'll make you feel better if you're not constantly putting energy on having to be a certain way because you feel like that's the way because someone else told you so, or you saw it on TV, or you looked in a magazine. Like, stop that. Stop all that bullshit. Everything is photoshopped, and there's a lot of effects going on TV. Everyone's a real person, you know. So you shouldn't be comparing yourself to anyone else of how you think you should be. Because, like, again, no one can be like you. And that's it. That's it. I'm sorry. I totally don't want to disappoint everyone, but I'm not doing a sexual position of the week. So, sorry about that. I might do that if we turn this into like a blog format where I'll have everything together. We might throw those in there, but today not happening. Oh boy. So, I wanted to talk about a stone real quick, crystal. Since we just had a blood moon, we can do the ruby. I think ruby is good. Even if you want to use a little garnets and rubies are great. And it's going in like kind of syncing with, I feel like, the vibe of what's going on right now. And it can also help you be more confident, authentic confidence, okay? Not just like, yeah, rah, rah, look at me, I'm cool, and da-da-da. No. Like, you being you and being okay with you. That is what it is. So, ruby's really good for that. And garnets is if ruby's too much for you, that's why I mentioned the garnet. Freaking love both. Garnet's my birthstone, but garnet is basically the same type of energy, but it's a little more dumbed down, like just more smooth, mild, just more mild, you know. The ruby's more picante. So some people, if you're feeling like it's too much, for ruby is too much for you right now, if you have jewelry and things like that, or raw stones, you can try, you can use the garnet, and it's a lot more calming. Actually, I have a lot in my room. It's good for when you sleep, so you guys should check that out. But yeah, authenticity. I've been going for a while. I was doing my best to make it a longer episode, but I am just going to give everyone a big hug, and you know, spiritual hug, because like, I love everybody, and just fucking be cool. Just stay fucking grounded into you, and that's it. I can't say it again. I kind of want to keep repeating that because I feel like if I keep repeating it, maybe you'll think about it tomorrow, and then, you know, maybe something magical will happen. But yes, authenticity, super sexy, trumps everything else you could possibly wear or smell like or look like, okay? So don't forget that. I had a lot of fun right now. I don't know when I'm going to do another live show. So, decided, because this is all new to me. I don't really do a lot of streaming and things like that I haven't done that in a while. So, like, I think that I'm going to save live events like these or elsewhere if we're going to go places. We were going to go places. I'm going to save that for special times. So, this was a special time, I do believe so, with this whole